ninth incarnation, the Lord, prayed for by the sages, accepted the body of a king, Prithu, who cultivated the land to yield various produces, and for that reason the earth was beautiful and attractive. Purport. Before the advent of King Prithu, there was a great havoc in maladministration due to vicious life of the previous king, the father of Maharaj Prithu. The intelligence class of men, namely the sages and Brahmanas, not only prayed for the Lord to come down, but also dethroned the previous king. It is the duty of the king to be pious and thus look after the all-around welfare of the citizens. Whenever there is some negligence on the part of the king in discharging his duty, the intelligent class of men must dethrone him. The intelligent class of men, however, do not occupy the royal throne because they have much more important duties for the welfare of the public. Instead of occupying the royal throne, they prayed for the incarnation of the Lord, and the Lord came as Maharaj Prithu. Real intelligent men or qualified Brahmanas never aspire for political posts. Maharaj Prithu excavated many produces from the earth. Thus, not only did the citizens become happy to have such a good king, but the complete site of the earth also became beautiful and attractive. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauramani Pucharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashadeshataya Ishibhiryachito Bheje Navamam Parthivam Vapuhu Dugdemam Oshidar Vipras Tenayam Sa Pushottama. O Brahmanas, in the ninth incarnation, the Lord prayed for by the sages, accepted the body of a king, Prithu, who cultivated the land to yield various produces, and for that reason the earth was beautiful and attractive. Hare Krishna. So this verse is referring to King Prithu. So King Prithu, if you see the history in the purport, it's mentioned like there was a great havoc due to vicious life of the previous king. So because the things were not going on very properly, there was no order in the state. So the Brahmanas, they prayed for Lord to appear and handle the kingdom. So we see the history of Maharaj Prithu. Maharaj Prithu, he was son of Vena, and his father was Anga. And Anga had a child with the daughter of death. So because of this, the son which was produced in Vena, he was not very good. The Anga, the father of Vena, he tried to reform him in many ways so that he could be corrected, but it could not be done. So his father, he became ultimately disgusted because of having such a son, and just one day he just left his kingdom and without any notice. So the kingdom was left without a king. As it happens, when there is no good government, no head of the state, there are civil wars, there are increase in crimes, thieves. Just like we see when the government breaks down, everyone starts looting and rioting. As in the case is in Middle East especially, because there is no government, there is no facilities for the public, there is no head so that which can guide the society, which can look the overall welfare of the public. So he tried reforming, but he couldn't do it, and then he left. So the kingdom was left without a king. So as it's mentioned, the Brahmanas, they were qualified Brahmanas, they were there. So it's the duties of the Brahmana to see that the things are going on properly, because Brahmanas, they are head of the state. So they asked the queen of that kingdom, like, now there is no king, so your son should become the king. Although he was not qualified, but there should be some king. So they installed Vena. So Vena, as he became the king, he immediately subdued all the criminals, rogues, and there was there was all of these activities like crimes, they were subdued because he was very cruel. He would, if someone was found doing some wrong act, he would immediately just cut off his head. Although the crimes were subdued, but he himself was a very big atheist. He didn't believe in God. He said, why do you need to worship God? I am God, don't worship God. So he stopped the religious activities. He stopped yajnas. Brahmanas, they couldn't do their religious activities. The Brahmanas, they implored him, they requested him, like, without this, this kingdom cannot go on. But he couldn't be moved from his position that there should not be religious activities. So what did the Brahmanas do? They dethroned him. He was killed by the orders of Brahmana. So then again the kingdom is left without king. Then again the criminals came up. Again there was maladministration. So from the body of Vena, the Brahmanas, they made two sons. One of the son was Maharaj Prithu. So Maharaj Prithu is known as the Saktyavesh Avatar, the empowered incarnation of the Lord. So in 4th canto it's given like how government can be formed based on following Bhagavatam, how a king it should be. Because Bhagavatam deals with topics related to God. So even the administration, how the things should go on in a kingdom, in a state, they are also mentioned in Bhagavatam, so that people in general, they can follow the plan of the Lord. So it's mentioned like here Maharaj Prithu, when he came, the earth, it started producing various goods, various natural resources, and the earth was very beautiful and attractive. So it means earth was not attractive before he came. So because the earth was not producing, then Maharaj Prithu, it said he attacked the earth, the Bhumi Devi, and he was inquiring, why are you not producing? People, they are bereft of necessities. You should produce, because if they don't get produced, they are always in anxiety. So then earth replied that people they have become demons. They are just taking taking from earth, but they are not doing their duty. So that's why the supply has been stopped. So that's then Prithu Maharaj ensured that everyone is doing their duty properly, and then in this way the earth, it started producing again. So we can see there is a direct correlation between people doing their duties. Duties means as enjoined in Vedas. If they do that, then they'll get sufficient food grains and material necessities of life. So here we see like this Maharaj Prithu, he was known as Archananda. So Archananda means he used to worship deity of the Lord. So as we know, there are 9 processes of the bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padsevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Das, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, Dasyam Atmanivedanam. So it's said like even just by performing one of the limbs of bhakti perfectly, we can attain perfection. It's so powerful. So and Maharaj, just like Maharaj Prithu, he attained perfection by worshipping the Lord. There are mention of different devotees who attain perfection. Just like by Shravanam, by hearing, Parikshit Maharaj got perfection. By Kirtanam, Sukdev Goswami got perfection by chanting the holy names. And then by remembering, by Smaranam, Prahlad Maharaj got perfection. And by serving the lotus feet, Lakshmi Devi got perfection. And like this, by Archanam, Prithu Maharaj got perfection. So here we see, even if we perform one of the limbs of bhakti properly, then it is capable enough to give the perfection. So here we saw that like the king Vena, the father of Maharaj Prithu, he was not pious at all. he was an atheist. So earth, it stopped producing food grains because there were no religious activities. And because in Gita it said, Annad bhavati bhutani pragyad anad sambudva, means the grains, they are produced by rains, and rains are produced by yajna. So if yajna is not there, sacrifices are not there, then there cannot be sufficient food grains. The earth is capable of producing everything, but it depends on like how people they are acting. So if we see here this understanding, like earth is producing just because people they are pious, this is not predominant in today's times, especially when everyone is following the the scientific method, modern scientific method, which says like the world is being governed by scientific formulas and equations, and there is no person behind this world. No one is managing this world. But here we see, if the people they were pious, if the people are pious, then the earth produces the necessities of human beings, which is like food grains, rains, etc. Because of this understanding, people they are being bereft of material necessities of life, and it's not like the earth is working under some formulas or some equations. Even if they say that, then they have to answer like where are these formulas being computed, because formula must be computed. Then they require more explanation. So this understanding that earth or the world is being guided by some equations or some mathematical laws or scientific laws, it's not complete, because they don't tell where are the formulas they are being executed, because formulas they need to be executed, then we'll get the result. So it's not it's a half explanation. So it's just like if we see they have an explanation for like how rains come, and from Bhagavad Gita it says rains are produced from yajna. But if we see the understanding, rains are produced from what? How? Evaporation, then condensation happen, then precipitation. Like this water cycle is going on. So they'll ask, where is Indra in this? No person is there. No one is involved. So you cannot see these personalities. So they don't exist. But actually, it's not like this. These the demigods, they are administering this material world, because they are doing their duty very responsibly, very perfectly. We are thinking it's because of and it's a law, because they are doing things at the right time, at a right pace. We think just like one example could be given, just like the trains there in a platform there, in a train station there comes many trains. It comes and leaves on time. If someone observes the train leaving and train coming and train going, then he writes down that this train is leaving at this time, this train is leaving the platform at that time. He observes in this way, as empirists do, because of he notes down the observation, the trains arrival time and departure time, and then after some observation he makes a theory. This is the law of trains. This train is coming at this time. So by the observation, this train will come at a certain time. So he thinks this is the law of trains. Because of law of trains, the trains are working. But actually, trains they have drivers, because the drivers they are responsible. They are doing their duty perfectly. That's why trains are coming at this time. It's not like there is some kind of law of train which is working in background and trains are working according to that. So similarly, it's not like some scientific law or some mathematical law is there, and that's why this world is going on. The demigods, they are behind the working of the material world. And even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that nature is not independent. This material nature, this material world which is working, this is not independent. This is under Krishna. Krishna says, Mayadekshana Prakriti Suyate Sacharam. This whole world is working under Krishna's direction. So if it's working under Krishna's direction, that means Krishna has a plan, which means like what is the plan for this world. So what is this material world, why it's there? So it's all mentioned in Vedas, like in Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, this world is a place for suffering those who are not adhering to the plan of God. Those who want to fulfill their own desires of enjoying this world, they come to this world. But if they understand, like they are not the enjoyers, they are not the supreme enjoyer. Everyone is acting in that mindset that they are the enjoyer. Ishvaro aham bhogi, siddho aham palwan sukhi. So everyone is having this kind of mentality, and because of this mentality, they are repeatedly taking birth again and again, because there cannot be many enjoyers. The supreme enjoyer can only be one. So for competing for that post, they are again they have a lot of desires. Accordingly, they work, and due to that they'll get good karma or bad karma, and like this in repeated births they are going on. But the plan of Krishna is we have to stop this birth and go back to our original position as servants of God, because even in the world they are servants. Actually, if they are not servant of God, they are servant of Maya. They are servant of their society, their nation, their family, or their dog if someone doesn't have a family. So in this way, one living entity is actually a servant. But when it becomes a servant of God without selfish desire, it attains perfection and it goes back to God, which is the plan of Krishna. So if we follow this plan of Krishna, means which is to get out of this world, to serve him, and then all facilities will be given, because nature is under Krishna. And if we follow if we are following plan of Krishna, he will provide, because we are following. Just like a good citizen, one who is following the laws of government, he will be given facilities in forms of a good road, good lighting, good parks, good good management, good water supply. Like this, he would be given all facilities. But if someone is is a criminal, someone is an outlaw, all of these facilities, they would not be provided to him, because he needs reformation. So similarly, in this world, we are meant for reformation. If we reform, what exactly do we have to reform? The attitude, or understanding, the mindset of like Ishvara, being the enjoyer, separated from Krishna. Enjoyment must be there, but not without God. We can enjoy with God by serving Him in loving service. And we see from Bhagavad Gita, from the incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like he was, he wanted to know, like the devotees, I am the supreme enjoyer, but the devotees, they are enjoying more than I. So that's why he came as, Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to, relish his own devotional service and to teach others as well. Vairagya Vidya Nij Bhakti Yoga, his own devotional service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. So that's why the cities and the living entities, if they follow plan of Krishna, they will be happy. They will be provided with all material facilities, and with this way they can execute the purpose of life peacefully. Because if they don't have enough material facilities, they will be always in anxiety. That's why one of the main ideas of Vedas is varnashram. One should follow varnashram, because in varnashram it's a system given by Krishna. If one follows that, it's meant to satisfy Lord Vishnu, which means if you satisfy Lord Vishnu, you'll get material necessities of life. But instead, if we try to satisfy ourselves, we'll be always puzzled by this deficit of material necessities. So that's why varnashram is required, so that we can satisfy Lord Vishnu and we can get enough material necessities, so that we can practice devotional service. And And we can see like all of this plan of Krishna, this how this world is working, empiricists, all these logicians, these people, they cannot know. They are thinking just by their own ability they'll understand this world, but we are limited. Our understanding is of how much can we understand? It's limited. We cannot even understand other person's mind, what is going on. So how can we understand the plan of the whole world, whole universe, how it's working, who is behind it? So all of these things, they cannot be known by people, those who rely on this empirical method. So one must take to Vedas, one must understand, like one has to take guidance from authorities. Means one has to take the knowledge from a deductive path, not by inductive method. We cannot reach to a perfect knowledge. Okay, so we see this Brahmanas, they overthrew Vena because he was not following properly. So they overthrew Vena. So Vena, he was not following the practices of a king. A king is supposed to follow, not independently, but follow the guidance of Brahmanas and the sages. Because of this only the administration could go on, because kings, they are generally in a mode of passion, and Brahmanas, they are situated in mode of goodness. And those who are in mode of goodness, they can understand things properly as they are. And that's why even in these democracies, the head of the state, they take guidance from ministers and counselors. So similarly, Brahmanas, they were guiding the king. Because he didn't take their guidance, he didn't understand, they overthrew him. And that is what the head of the society, they are meant to do. They are intellectuals, because they are concerned about the welfare of the society in general. They were saying that this stopping religious activity is not in even though he is taking down on curbing the criminal activities, but the religious activities, they must go on. So nowadays we also see, we want crimes. We don't want crimes. We want less criminals. But nowhere it's mentioned these religious activities, religious performances, sacrifices for Supreme Lord, they should go on. No one is focusing that. So that's why a head is needed, so that they have the information of the plan of the Lord. So the Brahmanas, they removed the Vena, and we see the Brahmanas, they come under the 4 orders of Varnashram. There are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras. So these 4 orders, they are always present in any society. Even we try to arrange, we don't try to arrange. Somehow people, they have tendency, they have natural proclivities. Not everyone is a leader. Not everyone has a good brain. Not everyone has a good physical strength to do labor. So everyone has their own nature, and nature, due to their own psychophysical nature, the people, they have natural tendencies towards certain kind of work. If people, they are allowed to work in their own natural tendency, then they are better situated. Not that we put everyone in one group, homogenized group, like everyone is same, everyone has to do a job, everyone has to do. Everyone cannot do a job. Some may like doing business, some may like fighting, some may like just being philosopher, some may like. So these people, they have different tendencies. But if we make a system that everyone has to follow a certain path, certain path. For example, you have to just get a job, otherwise you cannot make money. So if they have to do that, then people, they are always in anxiety. First of all, if everyone is looking for a job, then there are not enough jobs, and there will be anxiety. Unemployment is rising. And another thing is, people, for one post there would be so much of competition. So this is just increasing anxiety. It's not giving solution. A classless society, because everyone is doing one thing, whereas they are supposed to do different things. Because a society, it's not just it just doesn't require one section of people. Just like we have doctors, we have soldiers, we have workers, we have some people, those who are administering the state. Similarly, from all of these sections of societies, good governance is formed, good state is formed. And for leading the society, some head is required. But if we say these all people, they are equal by default, by birth, they are equal. Everyone has a same intellectual capacity, same physical capacity, or different abilities. They are same, but it's not true. People, they are not just this this body. People, they have minds. The people, they have their opinions. They have their understanding. So it's a great difference. Just like if someone is not if someone doesn't have a controlling nature, and if we tell them to control people, control crowd, they cannot do. But some people by default, they have this nature of controlling nature. So that's Kshatriya. And some people, they have this nature of understanding reality, understanding the truths of life. And these people, they are known as intellectual class. They are Brahmanas. Similarly, those who like doing business, they are they are merchants, they are Vaishyas, and the other people, those who have just they are they don't want much more in life. They are just okay with doing some physical work. So they are Shudras. So the thing is, these four orders, they are always present, but in Vedas, it's more clearly specified. Like these orders must be there, because if it's not clearly specified, then there is no direction, like how to run the thing, how to run the whole system. So that's why Varnashram is given, and for Brahmanas, therefore guiding the king. So that's why earlier king used to follow Kshatriyas. They used to follow the Brahmana, and Kshatriya would also be trained. He would be a Raj Rishi. He would be a philosopher king, or means he could understand the truths. So when they stop doing this, when the king, they start being just materialist, and they start they start just enjoying the in the kingdom, and not doing their duties, responsibilities as a servant of God. So slowly this monarchy was abolished all over. So we can see the monarchy itself, even many philosophers, they say this benevolent dictatorship, that is the most efficient form of government. Otherwise, democracy, if we see people, we can see democracy means government for the people, government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So people, they have different demands. People, they have different opinions, different priorities in their life. So if we try to homogenize everything in one section, naturally there will be conflict. One would want his religion to be more permanent. Other would want progress. Other would want just their immediate necessities to be fulfilled. So those who don't have those who don't have idea like how a government should be, they would just seek their immediate desires to be fulfilled. Just like we see in general elections, what happens whenever an election is there, the different contesting parties, they give different gifts to the voters so that they vote for them. Some distribute free blankets to the poor sections of the society. Some distributes alcohol. Like this, they do this, and they just easily give their vote to them. And then when such people come to power, they don't do anything. They just try to make for the gifts what they distributed to the public. So all this just makes the system just a mockery. So democracy is like a self-contradictory system where people they think they themselves are selfish, but they expect the ruler to be altruistic. So it will never happen if you yourself are selfish. Then how can you expect the ruler to be selfish? As soon as he gets the post of ruling, he will himself take advantage and start plundering the resources of the country. So that's why it's not a best form of government. Unfortunately, at this present moment, this is prevalent everywhere. So and democracy is very inefficient. For just to pass some resolution, you have to fight through so many of different opinions, different conflicts, because people naturally they have their different priorities, and if you pass a resolution, then everyone has to agree on that. Otherwise, everyone will have their opinion against that resolution or bill. So that's why the democracy is not so efficient, not a good system of governments. What good is given by Krishna, to follow the king, a monarchy. A king should be not just simply a sense enjoyer, but a Raj Rishi, a philosopher, follower of Vedas. That's why the Varnashram system is the best form of governance. But unfortunately, it was misused. It was people they were not following. So as it happened, it was stripped down. But it doesn't mean the whole system is the whole system is not good. The followers, there is always in this material world is everyone is exploiting everyone. But we have to understand but which form of governance is best. So we can see that democracy doesn't work. Krishna has given a system. It was working. Not just this democracy has been prevalent since how many years? Maybe not more than 200 years. Before that, everywhere the king would be there would be some kind of monarchy. Some head of the state would be there. So it's not that only because of democracy we can have a good governance. People they were living more than thousands of years on different under different ruling schemes. Especially monarchy was prevalent because of democracy. People they have different ideas, like we discussed. So it's a complete inefficient system of governance. And we see during elections they are about to come this year, the general election, Lok Sabha election, and there we talk about progress, economic growth. Then we see the numbers, GDP is increasing. But actually, if we see even the most rich, the ones everyone looked to British Empire, the Britain. But during Corona, they were bereft of even just eating things. There was literally nothing to eat in the supermarkets. They were empty. So once the Britain, it was ruling so many. It has so many colonies all over the world, but now they don't have food grains, nothing to eat. So what kind of progress is this? So we have to understand. Progress doesn't mean we have to make huge buildings, we have to make technological advancement. Progress means that the basic necessities of life, they are available easily in easily accessible manner. Just like if we might produce good cars, good infrastructure, but if we don't have other things, what will we? If we don't have the basic necessities of life, what will we do with our cars? For example, if you don't have food grains, then what will you do? Lick our car? What we do? Because these basic necessities, they are the prime necessities of human life, and they must be obtainable very easily. Not like we have to struggle. Just like people now they have good source of income. They have they have good income. They have stable income. But what about what they are eating? We don't know whether the milk is milk, whether ghee is really ghee or it's non-edible ghee. So these things, getting quality of food grains, these are very essential, because if you don't have good nutrition, then you have to spend on your health. And we see the top business makers, they are from pharma. You can just see on the Google net who are the most richest person in the world. Mostly you will find these banks and these pharmaceutical companies, and these are they are fooling people like how they have to live, what they have to do. It's all a propaganda. Like you have to you have to have a good economy, then you have good hospitals, then you have this. But why do we need to have hospitals in the first place? Hospital means people they are getting sick. They should not be sick because they don't have good nutrition, they don't have good immunity. They are getting sick again and again, and not because of just that, because of their lifestyle as well. So they are being forced to work in factories, in companies, more than 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, which is not human at all. Then it takes a toll on their physical health, their mental health, and this is all demoniac, which is not ordained by Lord. And that's why Prabhupada used to call the factories as dungeons of the demons, where demons, they just enjoy, and they suck the blood of the workers, and they themselves they make money and enjoy. So we should understand, like not be just fooled by these people at top and their propaganda, like how the things should be. We should understand from Shastra. That's why Brahmanas are needed. They understand from Shastra what is the actual requirement of the people. That's why these four orders, especially the Brahmanas, they are very important. Not just Brahmanas by birth, but by qualification. It means. So we should intend to create more qualified Brahmanas, so that the society can head to a better future. Hare Krishna. Any questions?
So in this, I have a comment. So generally, whenever we meet people who are very much in favor of democracy, their idea is that what is their main issue with the previous system is not so much like it was how the king was or what he was doing, but it's more like why should the lineage pass down in the family. Even we see the ruling government, many times they criticize another
Nepotism.
political party for continuing the line in their own family.
Nepotism. Yeah.
So I've seen this is the thing that people are most opposed to. Even that's why they broke down this caste system. That why should this person's son be this, or he has to be this, or this person is getting so much facility, so now his son will also get. Why should not everyone have the opportunity for that facility? How would you answer?
Okay, so the question.
I started with a comment, but it
came out. Yeah. So the I think means the point being raised is like it's not that people they are concerned about like how the king is, but they are really concerned about like why the king lineage is just passed on because of nepotism. The king's son is becoming king's son is becoming his son is becoming the king. So this is the thing. But we have to understand it's not like everyone can become king, because one has to be trained, and a king who is ruling the country nicely, he can train his child. And those who are, it's not like if someone is from completely different background with a black slate, if we train them and it's their innate nature, it's not just just like they have they say when the child is born, the mind is a blank state, but it's not. Nowhere it's proven that the child has certain disposition in certain activities, certain mental abilities. So those who have taken birth in a royal family, they have certain disposition that they would naturally be courageous. They would naturally be they have the Ishwar Bhav, the controlling tendency. So it's much more natural and much more easy for them to understand about the kingdom and understand how the power works and how to actually enforce it, rather than trying to make everyone rather than trying to selecting a king from a general crowd. Then again we'll have competition exams for king, who can be the king, because this nature, like actually their understanding is flawed, because they think like we are born in this life and this is it, but actually a soul, it has certain tendencies and proclivities, and due to that only it takes birth in a certain kind of family. And if the king is pious, if he is following properly, then a pious soul, just like in a family of devotees, in Krishna says, and if someone is born in a family of devotees, it's not just by chance. That soul, it performed devotion. That's why it's taking birth there. So similarly, these kings, they were following. Someone is following properly. They will have good son who is very capable. Because it's not just this present birth. It matters how their parents are, how they are working, what is their mentality. So earlier it was very it was very carefully maintained, all of these things, but now things have broken down. Now people have this this due to this bad experience, they are saying no, the king's son should not become king's son, everyone should be given equal opportunity. But the thing is, people, they are not equal. How they are not equal, we have to explain them. How how people, they have different dispositions, different psychophysical natures. This is all comes under varnashram, and which will go into a big topic, because we have to first tell them about basics, like how thing is. If we just starting saying monarchy is good, they will just debate on the points, but they will not get the whole point of becoming Krishna conscious. That's why it's needed. Mainly because of, to answer in short, mainly because how a soul gets a birth, it depends on the mentality, like during the time of procreation, what's the mentality and how they have been practicing, like how they have been living their lives, the kings. Due to that only the soul takes a birth. Just for example, Arjuna, like Abhimanyu had a son, Parikshit Maharaj. Who is better ruler than Parikshit Maharaj? And who is better ruler than Pandavas? So they were following very properly. That's why the son, the descendant who is there, he is qualified. He is way ahead of others. It's not like some disparity is there, but due to his good karma of previous life, he is taking birth there, not by chance. So people, yes, they have certain disposition due to past karma. That we have to explain, like why one having good past karma is better than having why someone having a good karma born in a certain family is more qualified than other person. So these we need to explain. I hope it
So
does.
first we have to establish reincarnation and soul and Krishna consciousness, and then with that worldview they can understand that okay, that's why this person is getting better facility or coming in this line.
Yeah, otherwise they will just see he is also a human, I am also a human. Human should have equal rights, but they should think you are not a human. Yes, more than that. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.